In the 1998 documentary, Listening to Sex Offenders, the crew interviewed a man called Gerald. In the interview, he explains how he molested his 9-year-old stepson.
After about 2 years of molesting my son and all the pornography that I had been buying, renting, swapping, I had gotten my hands on some bondage and discipline pornography with children involved. And some of the reading that I had done and the pictures that I had seen showed total submission, forcing the children to do what I wanted. And I had eventually started using some of this bondage and discipline with my own son. And it had escalated to the point where I was putting a large Ziploc bag over his head and taping it around his neck with black duct tape or black electrical tape, and raping and molesting him at that point, to the point that he would turn blue, pass out. At that point, I would rip the bag off his head, not for fear of hurting him, but because of the excitement. I was extremely aroused by inflicting pain. And when I seen him pass out and change colors, that was very arousing and heightening to me. And I would rip the bag off his head, and then I'd jump up on his chest and I'd masturbate in his face and make him suck my penis while he was, as he started to come back awake. While he was coughing and choking, I would rape him in the mouth. I told myself that my stepchild, because he wasn't mine, because he wasn't my biological son, that he was less than human anyway. Other people's children that I had raped and molested, they weren't mine. They weren't my biological children, so it didn't make any difference to me. I viewed children as a piece of meat. To me, children were a toy. Do what I wanted with and then throw it away. And then I found that if the child tried to pull away or would scream, holler, cry, and all my lying to myself would enhance that and make it more arousing to me. And the pain, the aspect of inflicting pain was extremely arousing. It was something that had taken time to build up. It didn't just happen. It took time to build that up. And after a while, I could actually take and turn it around to the child was screaming because they wanted more. The child was screaming actually because they liked it. The child was screaming because they wanted me to continue. And it's all turning it around and saying that the tears really aren't real for hurt. The screaming isn't really because of pain. It's that the person actually wants this to happen. I had been fantasizing about killing a victim during the course of rape or molest about 5 or 6 months, all during the course of the molestation of my stepson when I was using the Ziploc or the plastic bag over his head. I had fantasized and thought about killing him, letting him go ahead and suffocate during the process of the molestation. I believe it would have been maybe as short as another month or two, and I would have actually killed him if I was not arrested.
In an Ask Me Anything Reddit post, host Chris Hansen revealed that the strangest predator he'd ever encountered was Marvin Lacan. Lacan had sent a series of explicit messages to a 14-year-old decoy, the oddest of which said he wanted to watch her perform a sex act on a cat. The decoy agreed to this, but only on the condition he entered the house naked.
He's coming around.
Okay, yeah, just whatever you want. I guess totally naked, because that was the deal, right?
This is a man who apparently sticks to a deal. He walks in the back door, takes off all his clothes in the laundry room and goes in search of the decoy.
Where are you?
Wait, just take a seat. Have a cookie. I made that because they'll go with the Cool Whip. It was kind of a little surprise.
You want to explain yourself? Grab that towel right there, please. Wrap it around yourself, and please sit in that stool. What are you doing?
Making a mistake.
Making a mistake. What is going on in your mind? You don't know. Now, what do you think would have happened, Marvin, had I not been here and had there actually been a 14-year-old girl in that next room? What would have happened after you walked in there naked?
Something probably would have happened.
Something like what?
Something along sexual lines.
Like you would have had sex with a 14-year-old girl?
I'm not sure if I would have done that, but...
Marvin, you're naked.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone all the way. I wasn't going...
You went all the way when you took your clothes off, just about.
Then I ask him about the plans he talked about online for the cat.
You know what would be a huge turn on for me? What? Watching you blank him, meaning the cat. She says, I don't think I want to blank the cat. Would you for me? You're going to make this 14-year-old girl perform a sex act on a cat. I mean, I can only imagine what would have been going on in this house had I not been here. Am I wrong to think that?
No, you're not.
So what's going to be happening if I'm not here? You're naked, there's a 14-year-old girl, you're chasing a cat around, you've got Cool Whip, and you want this girl to do some sex act with the cat, and then you'll have sex with her. Is that accurate? Yes. Have you ever met any young girls online? First time?
Yeah, this is the first time, which will never happen again. I can tell you that.
The nearly naked man starts laughing.
So it's funny.
No, I'm just thinking it to myself that this will never happen again. This is not something, no. It's not right.
So you're promising me right now that you'll never...
I'm promising myself that I'm not...
Hook up with a 14-year-old girl online, tell her to have sex with a cat, and walk into her house naked.
Not even under 19.
Now, if there's anything else you'd like to say about this predicament you're now in, we'd love to hear it.
Just trust me, it'll never happen again.
And if there's nothing else you have to say, then you're free to walk out that door where you stripped naked and walked in.
Once he gets his clothes back on, he walks outside and is arrested by that camouflaged officer.
Police